For years, I've been trying to explain to people that industries like film and comedy and art and architecture and anything that's supposed to bring people joy and lift up the human spirit is being deliberately ruined. Like, for example, the UK comedy scene is being deliberately ruined. And I know this because I know how good I am at stand-up comedy, and I know that the better I got at stand-up comedy, the more I could make a room full of people laugh, the more the comedy industry would just try to destroy me. And I'm not saying this out of pride or anything like that, but I know how good I am at comedy, right? And I know when the whole room is laughing, right? And it's every time I go up there, everyone in the crowd's laughing. And anytime someone from the UK comedy industry would come and see me, they would write some review where it's like, this guy's terrible, or, oh my God, this is boring. You know, like everyone else in the room would be laughing and they'd just be like, oh, this guy should never see the light of day. Meanwhile, you know, if you look at like TV comedy or Live at the Apollo or stuff like, they are just dragging up all these terrible acts that are just so unfunny. And everyone I bump into is like, how come comedy's not funny anymore? And why is comedy so terrible these days? And it's not because people have stopped being funny. For the same reason that music is terrible now and films are terrible now, is it's all being done on purpose. You know, they're ruining this stuff on purpose. You know, they're taking the least funny comedians that they can, and they're telling you, these guys are hilarious. You know, just to sort of confuse you and to sort of invert reality on you. If they just take terrible comedy and tell you, oh, this is so hilarious. You know, it not only does it demoralize you, not only does it ruin art, but it also makes it hard for you to be like, is this up? Is this down? Like, what's real? This is what people say is funny, and it's just terrible. Okay? And for years, I've been telling people that this has been going on. But now, I really do feel like I have proof. You know, I really feel like I have proof, right? So every year they tell comedians, oh, if you want to be a famous comedian and you want to become a comedian, you have to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is a comedy festival that's run by rabid left-wing ideologues, right? And anyone that goes there that isn't a sort of rabidly woke left-wing slavering at the mouth leftist, you know, they send journalists to their show and just go, oh, this guy's terrible. And that was what happened to me. You know, I would go up there and I would do shows that were the opposite of sort of woke thinking, and everyone in the room would just be laughing their ass off, and people would be really enjoying my shows. And then the comedy industry would send a journalist to my show and they'd be like, oh, this is just so bad. You know, everyone's laughing and they'd just be like, this is terrible. And 3 stars out of 5 or whatever. You know, but if you've got sort of left-wing politics or left-wing views, you can go up there and literally, I'm not exaggerating, you can be like a lesbian, right? And you do an hour-long show about how your uncle sexually abused your cat or whatever, right? And there'll be 3 jokes in the whole hour, and the rest of the hour is you just bitch moaning, complaining about the fact that white men are horrible, right? And everyone from the Guardian and the Scotsman and all these big papers will come in, and they'll be like, this is incredible, this is the best thing we've ever seen. You know, and then you'll probably win like the best show at the whole Fringe Award. And, you know, it's absolutely satanic, the vibe in Edinburgh, by the way, especially in the comedy festival. It's horrible. You know, I went up there for years and years and years, and the funnier my shows got, the more the Edinburgh Comedy Festival just sort of hated them. And they tell every comedian, like, you have to go up there and you have to spend a fortune. You have to spend like 40 grand. You know, you have to book a room and you have to get an agent and PR, and you have to spend like 40 grand and then hope that someone from the comedy industry comes in and gives your show 5 stars, which they'll only do if you're sort of, you know, on the sort of establishment agenda, and, you know, sort of, you have to be sort of a black lesbian or something in that area. You can be black, or you can be a lesbian, or, you know, you can be disabled, or, you know, anything that's not what I am. You know, if you're a white male, just shoot yourself rather than go to the Edinburgh Comedy Festival. Anyway, this is how they sort of control comedy. This is how they control it. So you've got to go to this left-wing festival, right? And if you're not at this left-wing festival, no one in the comedy industry could see you. And I remember saying to people, well, don't the comedy industry people go to the comedy clubs where I am performing? They're like, oh, no, they never go to the comedy clubs. Oh, yeah, why would they? Why would the comedy industry people go to the comedy clubs? No, you have to go to Edinburgh Comedy Festival and spend 40 grand on everything and then hope that they see you there, because the rest of the year they don't watch comedy. Right. Of course they don't. Why would they? You know? So that's the scam. That's a scam. And everyone in comedy goes along with this. All these comedians, they all go there, and all of these acts that are absolutely terrible. They're like open mic acts, and I see them go up there, and if they're a woman, they get like 5 stars over all their posters. And, I know some people that are up there. I've never seen them have a good show on the circuit. I've never seen them have one good show. They go to Edinburgh, just the stars all over their poster, 5 stars, incredible. And, audiences sort of gaslit into going there and be like, oh my God, that was amazing. Whereas in actual fact, it was 3 jokes in an hour, and those jokes weren't even funny. So I've been telling people that this is the way it works for a long time. And I've been telling people that, they're trying to ruin comedy on purpose, and they're doing so at the Edinburgh Comedy Festival. And people are like, well, that sounds far-fetched. But the proof that I have is this year, every year they do Dave, which is a sort of establishment mainstream media channel. It's supposed to be about comedy. They do like a joke at the Fringe. They go, this is the best joke at the whole festival, right? And you have to be insane or willfully blind to not realize this year that they are deliberately picking one of the worst jokes that you've ever heard in your life, right? It's barely even a joke. I'll do it for you now. Ready? This is the funniest joke at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, where my comedy is universally panned by the critics. The people that think this joke I'm about to tell you is funny, they hate my comedy. I would like that as a sort of badge of honor attached to it. Ready? Okay, so here we go. This is a joke from comedian Lorna Rose Treen, who's a woman, must be a lesbian or something. There's something going on with her in the left-wing area. You can do your own research. I don't even know what the case is, but there'll be something. And this is the winner. Okay, this is her joke at the Fringe. This is the best joke that a comedian has come up with at Edinburgh Fringe. Ready? Okay, here it is. I started dating a zookeeper, but it turned out he was a cheater. That's it. That's what they are telling you is the best joke at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And they are asking you to believe that they're not trying to ruin comedy on purpose. They're asking you to believe that they haven't selected the worst joke you've ever heard in your life. I'll tell it to you again. I started dating a zookeeper, but it turned out he was a cheater. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It's not even a joke, I started dating a zookeeper, but it turned out he was a cheater. It doesn't even work as a joke. It's not even like, oh my God, it's so bad. Like, if you got that in a Christmas cracker, you'd be like, oh God. And they're trying to tell you that it's the best joke at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. They can't make it any more obvious that they are just flicking their cigarette ash in your eye. You know what I mean? You want me to believe that that's the best joke at the Edinburgh Fringe. You want me to believe that. They're deliberately feeding you crap and telling you that it's delicious, And I couldn't be happier that this festival doesn't like my comedy, because that's the comedy that they do like, And I can't give you any more proof that they're ruining it on purpose than I started dating a zookeeper, but it turned out he was a cheater. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. It hurts for you to say it once. So anyway, that's where it is. That's where the UK comedy industry is. Comedy isn't becoming less and less funny because people have stopped being funny. People are still funny. They're just taking the trash and they're putting a rosette on it and they're telling you, oh, this is UK comedy. They're doing it on purpose. There you go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, keep going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival because it's great.